Hey guys and gals, and everybody here from Drake Wayne Gaming, and something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of a Wanna Hug That Gator. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! Liz groans while Olivia shows me her phone. The graph is blurred to hell and I can't make out most of the text. I don't know how I feel about all this. What's not to get, Inco? Think about it, you're in history class, it sucks, so you just remember, wait a second, I'm human and stop listening. Wish I could do that. According to Lady Hitler, here you can. It's just a funny group of women like me. Lay off, let me have it. You don't really believe that stuff though, do you? Not really, it's just the rules of the place, alright? Okay. Olivia sticks the phone back in her pocket with a huff. Was the ride to the arcade always this long? I think we're about 20 minutes away from the arcade still. But don't worry, Inco, the water fountains are integrated. Shut up. Shut up. Damien cackles to himself. Alright, I hope the place still sells those hot dogs for just $1. There's no way anyone anywhere sells hot dogs for $1 anymore. Yeah, but they did, and it was great. Olivia and I would save our lunch money to just go here instead after class. I don't think I'd trust if it were still that cheap, honestly. You ate a dog off the floor once. That's different. Damien fills the air with old tales of his and Olivia's adventures in the arcade. She'd occasionally chime in and correct him on whatever over-embellishment, even as the last remnants of suburbia melt away and skyscrapers overtake our view of the outside world. Finally, I'm in the big city. Here we are! I'm almost disappointed when we pull into the arcade parking lot. Large glass windows covered in sun-bleached promotional leaflets adorn the front of the arcade, and the building itself looks a couple decades old. The place is probably successful in the past, but I can only imagine they break even nowadays. Even though the recent resurgence of retro deco could change that. I can show you more on the return trip. Come on. She must have seen my brief hesitance. Liz unlocks the trunk and I hop out to get to Olivia's chair. As I attempt to heave the thing out of Liz's trunk, it takes considerably more effort than I'd like to admit. Now, how do I unfold this blasted thing? I think there's a release button, right? Fuh! As I check to make sure that all my fingers were intact, I can see Olivia snickering through the passenger window. Inco-san, you have much to learn. Observe. Olivia makes sure the brakes are held and heaves herself over in one motion. The chair is forced open by momentum alone with a loud crack. She gracefully rolls by me, tongue stuck out in smug victory over my ineptitude. Ready. Sweet! Damien hurries us inside, and I can tell he's the most excited to be here out of anybody. Nice. Dude, this place is the bomb! We used to scrounge for change to come here after school. The place is abuzz with activity, flashing machines and all competing for attention and gamers excitedly conversing. I lean in a bit closer to Olivia. It's pretty dang loud here. You gonna be alright having to speak up more? Of course I am. What do you take me for, a kid? Sorry. I appreciate the concern. Volcanic, baby. Poor fish strike. Liz scowls as she peels her boot from the floor with a loud shtick. Ew. Damien, what was it? Damien, you could have warned me about... Damien's taken off toward a nearby coin machine, fistfuls of bills at the ready. I could have told you, too. I've been here before. So why didn't you warn me about the stickiness? Olivia shrugs. Liz's head lowers to her bridge of snoot pinching levels. Well, you two did kind of drop this on me at the last minute. But I still remember this place pretty well. Great, you can show Inco around and I'll go with Damien. Liz meekly puts her pointer fingers together as she looks at the salmon-frilled teen. Those two-player gun thingies look fun to try out. You mean the light gun games? Yeah, those ones. I can't put my finger on it, but something tells me that Liz was banking on splitting apart for the start. Though it would give me ample opportunity to have some alone time with Olivia. Just to get to know her more, of course. Liz, I think I broke this one's joystick! Liz sighs heavily through her nose. Seriously, Damien? Oh, come on, it's perfectly even and fair. You sure about this, Liz? We could all just stick together. The long-necked Dinah looks around the arcade nervously. As much as I want to protest the suggestion, it might be for the best. Liz wants to stick with Damien, probably to make sure he doesn't do more damage. And Olivia knows this place as well, so she knows all the best games. We've already been spending time together after school, so why not? I'm not against the idea, just, Alright, glad you agree. Liz takes this as her cue to leave, and she quickly pulls Damien away deep into the arcade. Meanwhile, Olivia begins to roll ahead, but stops and gives me an annoyed look. Come on already! Ah, right. As soon as I step closer, Olivia resumes her casual stroll down the aisleway. Olivia's eyes seem distant as she looks over the various game cabinets in the room. Silver Iris is dancing to and fro, a soft hum resonating from her mouth. I try and follow where her gaze lingers, but she seems to be constantly drifting to something new every other moment while deep in her own thoughts. And as we carry on slowly, the creeping awkwardness in my stomach gnaws away at me. I have no clue what to do right now. The point of this excursion was to relax. It feels rude to interrupt her, but she definitely knows better than me. Say, Olivia. My voice brings her back to the current moment with a start, her hands maneuvering her chair around to look at me fully. What game should we try first? The baryonyx shrugs her shoulders. Anything. Okay, then, how about one of your favorites? My favorites? Yeah, you used to come here all the time. I'm sure you've got some you prefer. The look of surprise from her is quickly hidden by her turning her chair back around. Fine. My favorites, then. My favorites. She pushes her wheelchair with purpose towards a particularly large screen in the corner. Looking at it closer, there's a large block connected to it, and dull, multicolored sticks hanging off the sides with wires. Oh, damn it! I look up the title above the screen. Ruined Robbers? The more I look at it, the more I see where splotches of fresh paint barely cover poorly done marker graffiti. Olivia's pout is so prominent as she glares at the base of the funny-looking block before the screen. They updated it. So it should be better then, right? Her pout breaks, transforming into a depressed frown as her eyes seem to gloss over it. I follow her gaze to the metal plate at the base to try and better understand. She looks pretty well maintained, if you ask me. Something wrong with it? They added a foot pedal for the cover action. I test the plate, feeling it sink down, and noticing the video demo on screen changed to a screen with a bunch of ass with numbers next to each instance. This sucks. Olivia's hands curl into fists as she glares at the machine. A twinge runs through my chest when I look back at the frustrated Dino Girl. One aspect of her favorite pastimes has been changed in a way that almost robs her of it. Thought strikes a painful chord in my heart, though I know I had zero hand in the game update. All the time, all the same, to see the clover-scaled girl look so morose. I turn my eyes away to my feet, the sensation leaving as I do, and a flash of brilliance overcomes me as I look at my loafers. Hey, I've got an idea. She cuts me off with a growl. I know what you're gonna say, and the answer is no. So you're willing to just give up because you can't play it easily? Yes. Olivia's response leaves me a bit floored. Her hateful eyes leer venomously at her former favorite game, but I know my idea will work. Okay, you play then. Have you been paying attention? I'll handle the pedal work. Olivia's words are left hanging as she tries to visualize what I'm saying. Confused gaze wanders between me and the flat rectangle on the floor. The whole time she looks so goofy I have to withhold a chuckle for fear of her clawing me. I must have realized, though, as she snatches the light gun from my hand, her cheeks bearing a red hue. Fine. One game. She looks at the light gun in her hand, takes a deep breath. You better do your job right, Inco. I give Olivia a nod. She wheels herself right next to the arcade machine. Gimme. She reaches for my hand and goes to take it before I can respond. She takes it for a split second, then moves down and grabs my wrist instead. Her scales are soft and cool. Hit the pedal when I squeeze, capiche? I nod in affirmation, and Olivia blasts the start button into pieces. Not so tight! Oh boy. Dude, hit the damn pedal! It's like playing with controller lag. Inco! Sorry! Holy crap, this is worse than I remember. Hi, it's me. I'm Guy That Makes Sense. Here you can see I put the respawning enemies in front of a place you're forced to cross. I came up with this idea while eating a bird. I don't even want to staple my ears to... Fucking damn it, not again! This game sucks. Want to play again? She's a bit intense. When Olivia finally releases her grip on my wrist, I feel my blood rushing through the imprint she left. We ended up playing 4 or 5 games total. That's probably enough. I'm good to move on, you? Are you sure? I don't want to keep you here all day. Olivia looks over the machine one last time before sliding the plastic gun back in its slot. I'm still a bit disappointed they changed it, but... Thanks. Alright, there's better games around anyway. Let's go. A stray thought from before I really got to know Olivia screams to the forefront of my mind. Sometimes along the way, people start calling her Hot Wheels. Don't remember really who or when. I do know it's proof she's got that fire in her. A fire in her. Before she can roll away too far, my hand takes hold of one of her chair's grips, jolting the Dino Girl from her sullen stupor. Say, I've got an idea, Hot Wheels. Why don't we try the fighting game you were so good at? The fighting game? Olivia's jaw clicks shut and her hands ring together tightly. Arcade cabinets can't change, right? I mean... Her gaze turns towards the opposite end of the arcade, and I can hear the loud hollers of competition from there. Come on, Hot Wheels. What do you say? The name seems to invigorate her, her glacier iris is hardening and her ivory claws touching at her wheels. An eerie grin creeps across her features, tongue polishing and incisive as her predatory eyes latch onto a particular cabinet on the far side. Olivia picks a direction and speeds off, parting the sea of sweaty dinos and leaving a small space of safety in her wake. After a short while passing some digital pachinko machine, she looks back at me for a moment as if to confirm my presence and to say, "Don't lose me," and then yanks her wheelchair to launch herself through the building towards a new destination. What? Hey! I finally give chase, following as best I can while avoiding the rest of the awestruck players that just witnessed the high-speed Dino Girl shoving them aside in her wake. As I get closer, the atmosphere seems to grow thicker, the very air becoming dank and heavy, almost as if someone dialed the humidifier up to 11. For a second, I have to stop in my tracks to catch my breath and try to cool down as my shades begin to fog up. So this is the power of the fighting game crowd. I'd heard things, but I thought they were jokes. Through the fog, I spot Liz, or rather Liz's head, sticking above the crowds. Yo, you found us! Getting closer, Damien and Liz's head comes into view. Olivia stops and checks one last time I didn't get washed away in the crowd. She then moves past Damien and Liz, coming to a screeching halt next to a particular cabinet that's occupied by somebody else. She removes a shiny coin from her pocket, placing it firmly down on the controls of the current player who hardly glances at her. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to have a quick shout out to all of our lovely patrons. Thank y'all for all I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!